What is up, you scallywags? I just saw the video update for Season 12 content, so we're going to take a look at that and see what kind of deep dives or further nuances and details we're going to discover with this season. So let's see what we got, and I'll be pausing and giving my 2 cents or 3 cents on what we're seeing here. So let's have at it.
A new season of Sea of Thieves is nearly here, and we're shaking up the sandbox with new weapons and tools, bringing in new methods of traversal, and delivering a boatload of new rewards to unlock. Season 12 sees the introduction of two new weapons, the double-barrel pistol and throwing knives. With the double-barrel pistol, you'll be able to fire two individual shots before you need to reload, or you can choose to charge it and unleash both shots at the same time. Shots fired from the double-barrel pistol have less range and damage than the standard pistol. However, the speed in which you could potentially land two shots could see the battle turn in your favor. With throwing knives, you have multiple ways to attack your enemies. If you're caught in the thick of it, a quick stab will deal a small amount of damage. And if you're playing sneakily and manage to get the jump on your rivals, the heavy downward stab will deliver devastating results. But they're called throwing knives for a reason. Not only will a successfully thrown knife deliver a good amount of damage, you'll look cool doing it too. Unlike me, not everyone can throw with pinpoint accuracy, but if your throwing knives happen to miss their intended target, you can pick them up and replenish your ammo. And that goes for any rogue who happens to lob one your way too, even if you don't have them equipped. Return to sender.
All right, so my concern with the throwing knives is that, it's used as a dagger, but how effective is it in a sword fight? On that ship, you may not exactly have an opportunity to throw it, as was demonstrated with the ladder, or with the ladder board. But if I got a dagger and you got a cutlass, what are the odds that I'm going to be able to ward off your attacks? I mean, small amount of damage. They didn't give us any numbers, but I imagine that each standard stab is less than a cutlass swipe. So it's probably not intended to be a cutlass substitute. As we saw, there's more damage done doing sneak attacks and throwing. Let's keep going.
Scattershot is a new type of cannonball that can be found amongst the storage barrels all across the Sea of Thieves. When fired from your cannons, the scattershot will break apart into 4 smaller cannonballs, meaning you'll be able to deliver multiple points of damage to enemy ships from one shot. The range of the scattershot is significantly less than standard cannonballs, which means you'll have to get up close to have any hope of landing hits on your rivals. But if you do, the many small holes that'll puncture their hull will quickly eat through the wooden plank resources of even the most prepared crew.
Okay, so this one I was thinking about a bit more. Excuse me. And when you get up close and personal in naval combat, you see how they have a downward fall or descent, whatever you want to call it. So they drop. You have a galley crew with all 4 cannons loaded up with scattershot, or even the first 3, and you fire. What are the odds that you can wipe out the crew that's manning the cannons? Like, obviously it's going to be a little bit difficult with the opposing crew firing at your cannon line and knocking you off the cannons, but you saw a lot of those shots pointed upwards towards the cannon line, which I think would be pretty effective with keeping crews off cannons. you get two cannons, like on a galley. Yeah, two cannons firing scatter shot to keep the opposing crew off cannon line or off their cannons. I think it might be pretty effective at wiping out a crew. Now, going back to the practical side of things, it's probably not likely to happen because of the fact that you have the opposing crew firing at your own cannon line, and you have to get close enough for that drop onto the crew's cannons to be effective. However, with you know, with the ideology that or the mentality that's supposed to eat at the resources, I think that's going to be interesting. Mainly for the mainly for the fact that you have brigs and sloops going up against galleys. Fire a few of those scatter shots at the lower deck of a galley, and they can be in trouble. Or even fire a few at the bottom deck and a few in the mid deck. Fire a ballast ball, and that could be a pretty decent galley killer.
Caller is a new throwable that'll summon skeletons to come and fight on your behalf. They'll attack any of your enemies, whether that be other players, hulking ocean crawlers, or the inhabitants of your nearest skeleton fort. You can even fire the bonecaller from your cannons and unleash a skeleton attack to distract the other crews that you encounter out on the waves. However, your cadaverous crew won't last forever. After a short period, they'll explode in a shower of bones, so make sure to only summon them when needed. Bone callers can be found in the crates dropped by defeated skeleton fleets, and in the barrels dotted around skeleton forts. So stock up, and the next time you find yourself in a pinch, you can call on your very own skeletal support group.
All right. So I'm noticing that the explosion of the bone collar looks similar to that of a looks and sounds similar to a firebomb. I wonder if that's by design or if that's intentional, because that can be misleading for a crew where they fire a bone collar or they have a bone collar fired at them. It sounds like a firebomb, but maybe, they fired at the side deck where it's not going to catch necessarily. So they think it's just a dud firebomb, only to get swiped at by skellies. Now, what they didn't cover... Hold on.
In Season 12...
Okay, nope. What they didn't cover is if you can stack them. If you can throw... Because you can hold 5 throwables. If you can throw all 5... and the skellies stacked to where you can just have a swarm. My theory is that you can only have one bone collar active at a time. So if you throw one skelly spawn and you throw another, the first skellies explode and the next wave, comes up from the ground. And it's not necessarily that if we can call it balancing. Yeah, I wouldn't really call it balancing because of the fact that you can sword lunge through all those skellies like we do with sea forts, or not sea forts, at a skelly forts, and it tears right through them, easy peasy. It's not like they're the gold skellies, which that'd be a pain. Even having the shadow skellies, it might be a little bit of an upper hand if you fire them off at night, but again, you have your ship's lanterns on, or just quickly use your own. And then sword lunge through them, they're done. So they kind of play through these videos with showing player crews just doing your standard sword attacks on skellies, but you sword lunge through them, and skellies are easily dealt with. So we'll see. Let's keep going.
You'll be able to find a new treasure artifact in shipwrecks and in various locations across the Sunken Kingdom. The Horn of Fair Winds, a large siren shell which can summon the power of the wind. You can use this to blow wind into your sails, to propel yourself through the water, to blast your rivals out of the way, to put out fires, to cushion your fall from great heights, and to turn a rowboat into a wind-powered speedboat. Horn of Fair Winds has a limited charge, so
Hippo's
you'll
gonna
need
be
to use
memeing
it
everybody.
wisely. However, thankfully, even when it's fully depleted, you'll still earn the same amount of gold when selling it. You'll also find that
Didn't say
ziplines
how
have
much.
been added to the islands of the Sea of Thieves. These exhilarating thrill rides will allow you to transport loot efficiently, make speedy getaways from sticky situations, and get down to your ship at the outpost quicker than ever before. And in a staggering display of agility and balance, pirates can now walk across harpoon lines. Whether you're using it to board an enemy ship, or as a shortcut to transport treasure, you'll need careful control to keep yourself upright as you make your way across the line. Get the right angle, and you can use the harpoon line to make a quick exit, skillfully sliding back to your ship. And of course, with the
The utility of that one is pretty obvious. With the need to balance yourself, I wonder how sensitive it's going to be. Whether it's going to be pretty unforgiving, or if you have to try to fall off. No, because they did say in the previous videos or video, whichever, that you can fall off. So I'm just curious how practical it'll be, because you see it boarding another ship. You're going pretty slow, which makes you an easy target. So I wonder how practical and effective it'll be to board other ships, which I don't think it'll be very. If anything, they'll just continue using harpoons to draw other crews off their ship and blast them. But of course, being able to use it to traverse, to and from your ship, as far as, on the PvE side of things, that's pretty cool. And of course, ziplines, so now Ancient Spire doesn't have to be a pain in the ass. I despise that outpost for the sole reason of having to jump down to get to the ship. I don't know why, it just irks me. So with a zip line, you can finally just, zip right on down to the ship. Wham bam, thank you ma'am.
launch of a new season, there's another 100 levels of incredible rewards to unlock, including the famous pirate clothing and accessories, as well as the famed Buccaneer flag and sails for your ship, and the famed Buccaneer scar, tattoo, and makeup for your pirate. Pirate legends can feel what it's like to step into the shoes of a skeleton lord with Grey Marrow's boots, as well as embracing some romantic melodies with the Wild Rose music box. There's a treasure trove of other goodies to discover too.
Nice.
From figureheads and cannons to jackets and hats. There's also a brand new plunder pass available as an optional purchase, where you can earn the Gorgon ship set with collector's sails and figurehead. Inspired by myths and monsters, the serpentine details of this ship set are enough to freeze your enemies with terror. And you can also unlock the 2 stages of the Stone Curse and the Gorgon headband. With the new weapons and tools arriving...
Is that like an achievable curse, or is that a Pirate Emporium curse? Well, it said unlock the 2 stages, so I doubt it's a grindable curse. That'd be cool if it was. Huh. I mean, it's cool to see something else, but I think it would have been a lot better if that was a grindable curse.
With Season 12, the options that you have to play how you want to are greater than ever before. So get ready to embark upon adventures enriched with exciting new possibilities in Sea of Thieves Season 12.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens with that one. Hit reg is going to be an obvious one. The throwing knife still kind of is curious. Can imagine people trying to dress up as Pace, get a tuck outfit on, get the sword and throwing knives, and trying to go around acting like a ninja. Might be a fun build, fun loadout. Hmm. So I wonder, with throwing knives, if you run out, I'm guessing you just go to an ammo station, ammo crate, and you fill it up, replenish your ammo that way. It would make sense if you can't go pick them up because it showed in the video in well both videos that we've seen that someone else can pick up your throwing knives. They remain static. So if you like throw one at a skelly fort and you guys leave and another crew comes along to see what's left and they find the throwing knife, well, it's theirs. It's going to be interesting. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This latest update hasn't been the best with the open crew and guild ships being basically disabled, whether mostly or in their entirety. And supposedly they're going back to 6 ships per server and 6 ships and 18 players. Hopefully they get this one right with server stability because it's been kind of part of the course that after a season start, the first 2 weeks maybe, the servers are just they're not ready. But we shall see. Looks like it might be fun.